Hello, welcome back to the Coleman channel and welcome back to another installment of the Tube Review. Yes, it's been a little while since we've done one of these. This is the series where we review media, shows, films, etc, etc. You know the drill, you know how to be, you know how to do. So though we haven't done this series in a while, the last thing that I reviewed was Obi-Wan Kenobi when the show just finished, so I can't even remember when that was now. A good couple of months from this point anyway. So yeah, obviously originally the whole idea of the Tube Review was to review things that were kind of fresh that I wanted to talk about. Kind of decided now I just want to kind of review things that I want to talk about. You know, whether they've just came out, whether they came out a couple of months ago, a couple of weeks ago, a couple of years ago, or a long time ago. I just kind of want to speak about films that I just think I have things to say about, do you know what I mean? So we're going to do that now with this particular one, which... Oh! I like it. So yeah, the review that we're doing today, as you may have read in the title, is one that came out a little while ago, came out earlier this year, and it is called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. So since it's been a little while since we've done the Tube Review, I'll give you a little bit of a reminder on how the format of the show works. Basically, we'll start off with the spoiler-free review where I just kind of give you a bit of a taste of what I thought about it, what I liked about it in terms of acting, plot, narrative, directorial style, editing style, practical effects, you know, all the things that make a film or any kind of visual media without any particular spoilers. And then we'll move on to the spoilerific review, and then we'll rate it. And then we'll rate it on this little doohickey here, which is called the epic to lame ratio, where we'll decide if the film is very epic, pretty lame, or very lame. So yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once is a film that I had pretty much virtually no expectations of whatsoever. I didn't know anything about it before going in, other than it was being released by A24, which are currently my favourite production company for films at the fucking moment. A24 kick ass. They make such a wide variety of crazy ass films. They just pick out these writers and directors with really crazy ideas, and then they just let them make it, and then they release it. And pretty much every film that they've released has been spanning everything from horror to suspense to literally anything else, any kind of genre that you can think of. A24 have made released a film about that genre, and everyone has been a banger. At least every film that I've seen that they've done, like Hereditary, Midsommar, The Lighthouse, The Green Knight. There's even some that I've still yet to see that I really want to see because they look kick-ass, like X or Men or Peril, I think is another one that looked really cool. These dudes just be making films and they're unstoppable. They're making a prequel series for Friday the 13th. Oh my goodness. They're good. And Everything Everywhere All at Once is a film that I've seen by them. The only thing that I knew is it involved the multiverse, because it kind of came out around the same time as Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which we did a review of. So I went down with my friend Jeff and my other friend Luby, when we were in Dundee where they live. I went to see the film. And Jeff had seen it, and he basically told me it kicks the ass out of the multiverse concept and it did it even better than Doctor Strange. So I went, I'm going to have to see it. Spoiler-free review. I stood up at the end of the film. The film ended, the credits were rolling, and I stood up out of my seat with the rest of the boys. And I turned to them and I said to them, I never say this, and I do not say this kind of thing fucking lightly, and I don't say this kind of thing lightly because it's a very easy thing to say. I would never say this unless something sparked inside me. Something happened to me. Because I do not use this phrase lightly. That was the best film I've ever seen. And now we'll go into the spoilerific review. Oh, yeah. I mean, in retrospect now, it was a very, very long time ago since I've seen it, but I think certainly it is still one of the greatest films I've ever seen. I stood up in that cinema, I said that was the greatest film I've ever seen. I've only seen it once at that point in time, but it's stuck with me since I saw it. and it just transcends everything that I've ever seen before in terms of plot and narrative and characters and actors and everything else. Yeah, I stood up and I said that was the greatest film I've ever seen, and I prefaced it by saying I do not say this fucking lightly, which I don't, because I don't think I've ever said that about any film that I've watched, even the ones I love. When I say that's my favourite film, I don't even think my favourite film I would have said was the best thing I've ever seen. But Everything Everywhere All at Once made me say that was the best thing I've ever seen, and now we'll do the spoilerific review, I think. See, like I said, I walked in there with no expectations, which I think is the most important thing to take from this. I didn't walk in there knowing anything about the film. I had no frame of reference in terms of what to think about the movie other than it was a multiverse. Only thing that I knew. And starting into the film, you would have no idea, because it starts out as a very, like, almost like a slice of life kind of film, where it's just like a Asian family that run a laundromat. The mother is not very happy with her lot in life. She went out to do bigger things. Her father's coming over to visit the family, and he's a very upstanding, you know, family-centric kind of character who's like, you know, the mother should be doing this and the dad should be doing that, and the daughter should be rising to great expectations. And the father, who I think, it's the actor who played Short Round in Indiana Jones, and it's not The Last Crusade, Temple of Doom. And my god, he is fucking good. Phenomenal actor. All the characters in this film are fucking fantastic, but my god, he is such a fucking phenomenal actor. Welcome back to this fucking man. My god, I don't think anyone would have expected this guy to have been so fucking good as he was, but he was phenomenal. And he's quite a chirpy, happy-go-lucky guy, tries to see the bright side of everything, glass half full kind of guy. And the daughter, who is a lesbian, who obviously is trying to hide this fact from her family, because this is the kind of family that would disapprove, or at least the grandfather would disapprove, and kind of just believes herself to be the family disappointment. And that's literally the whole thing. They run a laundromat, a very busy household, grandfather's coming over, and that's the family dynamic. And that's literally how it starts. And then it takes you through something. It just changes so fucking quickly. No, it doesn't change very quickly. It takes its time for the whole thing. It comes in so slow. But I'm not even going to try and describe the plot to you, because I don't even want to really dive into everything about the film, because like like from my perspective, because it certainly fucking worked for me, the less you know about this film the better. Do not walk in with any expectations of this movie at all. I've just told you how it starts. That's all you need to know before you walk in, because it is just such a it is effortless in how beautiful this film is, in terms of the genres that it explores, in terms of sci-fi, martial arts, comedy, drama, family drama, love. It perfectly tightrope walks this balance of absolutely ridiculous, absurd, laugh out loud, amazing comedic moments that would more than likely rip you out of any kind of serious situation from any other kind of a drama film. You know what I mean? Like, if there's a really serious, tense, dramatic moment between a family member and a family member in terms of love, you know, do you care about me or not? You know, fuck you, you know, all that kind of shit. And then some ridiculous thing happens, like a Ratatouille parody, but it's a raccoon who just so happens to be voiced by Randy Newman, the guy who made the soundtrack for Toy Story and other such Disney Pixar films. And it makes you laugh like a fucking maniac, but also keeps you in this serious dramatic tension moment, really, or heartfelt moment. It is just effortless in how it does it. It is phenomenal, awe-inspiring, and inspiring of how it can just tightrope walk this balance between dramatic tension, heartfelt moments, and absolutely ridiculous comedy. Like, ridiculous is obscene how absurd the comedy is in this. It's got like mixes of just jokes, slapstick, absurdity again. Like, that's the main one, is absurd. Just really wacky silliness is what most of the jokes are. It's not like dirty humor. It's not like one-liners and hey, look at me. It's not Rob Schneider comedy. It's not Kevin Hart comedy. It's just silly and absurd and stupid as fuck. And they make it effortlessly funny while being effortlessly heartfelt and touching and dramatic at the same time. The cast in this film are fucking phenomenal. Every single character rocks their role. There's no one left out. And the thing is, because it's quite a small cast anyway, literally the main draw, like the main people contained within the whole story is this Chinese-American family. Michelle Yeoh as Evelyn Kwan Wang. Stephanie Su as Joy Wang. Huy Quan, who is the short round, as Waymond Wang. And James Hong as Gong Gong, who is the grandfather. And Jamie Lee Curtis as Deirdre as well. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is in this fucking film. They're literally like the ones. They're like pretty much the main cast. It's the Asian American family and the woman who works in the IRS who's auditing them. They're the main cast, and every single person is phenomenal. Jamie Lee Curtis is so funny in this film. Huy Quan is amazing in this film in terms of how dramatic, like how he can embody such a fantastic character. He can be so hilarious, he can be so naive and touching and positive, and also in other places. I'm not trying to give too much away. I know this is the spoilerific review, but I don't want to spoil it. That's the thing. I just do not want to give too much away anyway. I'm just trying to tell you a little bit about everything in it. Yeah, Huy Quan is also another, like, all these characters, man, everybody in this film is able to just jump from heartfelt to ridiculously hilarious. They just all embody their role so perfectly. They're so perfectly cast. Oh God. The editing in this film also needs to be seen to be believed. It is unbelievable how well the editing is done in this film. And that is one of the biggest things. Because apparently this entire film, Everything Everywhere All at Once, this 2022 film, was edited during lockdown and COVID on, I want to say, like a 10-year out-of-date version of Premiere Pro. The software that I use that is updated up to date. They made this entire film in a 10-year-old out-of-date version of Premiere Pro. I think it's 10-year-old. It could even be older for all I fucking know. And the editing in this film is so intensive, so quick, because of the certain multiverse angle, which I've said already. There's just a fucking fantastic moment where the main character, played by Michelle Yeoh, forgive me if I'm pronouncing any of the surnames or anything like that incorrectly, I do apologise. It's just her face, and it goes through like over 100 cuts, rapid style of her in different universes, and it's like alien, fucking crazy practical effects in the face, just some ridiculous absurd comedy, clown makeup, maybe anime style. It goes through so goddamn fast, and it literally takes your fucking breath away. I was like I could feel my heart skipping a beat a little bit just because of how fucking fast and insane, and all these different art styles and depictions of this one singular character that are basically purported to exist. These are all versions of the same person that we don't even get to see in the film. They just fucking fly through them, bruh. Gotta give kudos to these fucking dudes for putting this film together in such an old ass editing software. How is it possible? I don't fucking know how it's possible, and they did it. They just fucking did it. Like, big ups. Give them some fucking goddamn props up in here, because like that is just like damn. And I think the most important thing for me that just made me just adore this film to such a magnanimous extent is the way it's just so capable of, like I said, about comedy and drama, comedy and tragedy. It just walks these things so fucking perfectly. It does it with everything, bruh. Can you put it down as a genre? You probably can, but it doesn't matter, because it just jumps from so many different genres anyway. It does not stick to one fucking lane. It is anarchy, this film. Pure, blessed, unbridled anarchy that everyone should strive. It is a film that everyone should strive to achieve. It is a film that that everyone should strive to achieve in terms of how it does not fucking pin itself down with conventions. Fuck conventions. This film fucks conventions, bro. These are just the unwritten gospel made by film theorists and all that kind of thing, which are very, very important to know when it comes to be introduced to filmmaking and that kind of thing, and it's important to have them in the back of your head. But ultimately, as you are the filmmaker, you can effectively do whatever the fuck you want, and that is exactly what it did with Everything Everywhere All at Once. It tells a poetic, beautiful story about a struggling family coming to terms with each other's flaws and loving each other again, all for a multiverse hopping, literal multiverse of madness. Fuck Doctor Strange, bruh. That was not madness. That was a multiverse of mediocrity compared to this fucking multiverse of madness. While telling funny jokes, while having an insane, absurd plot that just coincides with its rules so perfectly, like the rules of its multiverse, so concisely, and it's so goddamn funny the entire goddamn time, while also being so real and so, again, heartfelt, because the main message of the fucking film is nothing matters. And that is such an important thing to think about, because it balances thinking about it in such a dark, nihilistic way. Nothing matters, therefore I don't matter, therefore the universe doesn't matter. Fuck all of it. It explores this nihilistic concept, but then it blends into this beautiful fucking thing where, yeah, nothing matters, so fuck it. Embrace existence and everything around you, bruh. Because nothing matters. There are infinite possibilities to do whatever the fuck you want, and you should love your friends and family and your network and hold them fucking tight. Because if nothing matters, if I don't matter, if you don't matter, then let's not fucking matter together, bruh, and make a beautiful tomorrow together, because it is endless possibilities, bruh. Nothing matters, and that is fucking good. And it tells that point very poignantly. And I fucking loved it so much. And I think my rambling is going to end there, and I'm going to put it on the epic to lame ratio. Ladies and gentlemen, Everything Everywhere All at Once 2022. This is the first time I'm doing this, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see here on the epic to lame ratio, the epic to lame ratio always had 6 tiers on it. Most epic, very epic, pretty lame, very lame, most lame. However, I have another thing for you. As you may see, I've not put the title on the tier list yet, and that's because there's another tier that I would like to put Everything Everywhere All at Once. I never ever thought I would use this, because I put it there for that one-of-a-kind special film that would appear one day, and it did. And therefore, I would like to put Everything Everywhere All at Once in high tier most epic to low tier certified hood classic. Certified hood classic, which is reserved for only the best of the fucking best films or shows that I have ever fucking seen. And Everything Everywhere All at Once is that, without a fucking doubt. Obviously it's low tier certified hood classic, because I'm sure if I watched it again, I wouldn't be standing up and saying this is the best film I've ever seen. But it is one of the best films I've ever seen. And that is saying something, because I do not say that lightly, even about my favourite films. There's not a lot of those I would say that's the best film I've ever fucking seen. I just happen to like it a lot. But Everything Everywhere All at Once is one of the best films I've ever fucking seen, and therefore it is low tier, certified hood fucking classic, high tier most epic. That is my review of Everything Everywhere All at Once. Go and see it. I try my best not to tell you too much about it. You shouldn't know too much about it. Go and see this fucking film if you love movies, if you love A24. Just open your mind and get ready for a ride, bruh. Don't judge it. Just fucking watch the whole thing and come to your own conclusions. Because I know that for a fact that some people probably don't like it. I remember being told by Jeff, the first time I went to see it, some people were getting ready to walk out of the cinema because of some parts. They just wouldn't let it into their hearts. They were ready for a conventional film, and they did not receive that. Fuck conventions. This film fucks them. Anyway, welcome back to the Tube Review, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this, my own review of this film. I know it's been out for a little while, but like I said, I'm not really caring too much about when films come out or how recent they are. I'm just going to review ones I want to talk about, really. So more to come once I feel like talking about one of them. Like I said, I'm not really going to focus too much in any order or time frame. If it's something I want to talk about, highlight, I want to express my thoughts onto a camera and into a mic, That's what a tube review is going to be for, baby. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, bell. Check out Coleman Live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Coleman Live. Follow me on Twitter at Papa Coleman for more updates on content. All that kind of thing. Thank you all. I am sweating now.